ஆகாஷ்வாணி மாநில செய்திப் பிரிவு வழங்கும் செய்திச் சுடர்.
Hello listeners. Regional News Unit Chennai brings you a special discussion on the various achievements and functions of National Council for Vocational Education and Training that operates under the Union Ministry of Skill Development. Participants include Dr. Vinita Agarwal and Dr. Neena Pahuja, Executive Committee members of National Council for Vocational Education and Training. In discussion with them is our special correspondent S. Joy.
Welcome listeners. Today we are bringing a different set of discussion. This will be about the National Council for Vocational Education and Training. The body was established according to the Government of India's notification on 5th December 2018. So as soon as the notification came into force, the body became operational from 1st August 2020. Basically, the NCVT serves as an overarching national regulator with the aim of setting standards, developing comprehensive regulations, and improving the vocational education, which is much needed and which is the need of the hour for the youth who are developing in our country. To talk more about this, we have with us in our studios Dr. Neena Pahuja, Executive Member, National Council for Vocational Education and Training under the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you.
So another guest is Dr. Vinita Agarwal, Executive Member, National Council for Vocational Education and Training. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you.
So they are here in Chennai because of a Southern Region workshop. So today the workshop was held in Chennai with all the southern states. So let's ask about the workshop in the beginning and then let's go about what National Skills Development Corporation is doing. Welcome, ma'am. So how was the workshop today?
The workshop, I think, it was very good. This is part of the series of workshops that NCVT has been conducting, and this was for the South Zone. And in the Southern Zone, we had 7 states. We had the states of Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Puducherry, Karnataka, Kerala. Now, the idea of this workshop was that, NCVT, as you said, was established in 2018 with focus on improving the quality of skilling programs and therefore the skilling outcomes in the country. So NCVT has been undertaking a number of initiatives and policies focused on quality. But what happens is that many of these policies or initiatives may not percolate down to the states where actual implementation happens. So that was the main purpose of organizing these workshops, so that we can disseminate and create awareness about the initiatives. And of course also so that state governments can become a part of the national skilling framework. In the sense, since the time NCVT came into being, we have been according recognition to awarding bodies and assessment agencies, basically laying down certain minimum standards for their functioning.
So actually, how do you work, ma'am? Like, in Delhi, that's the body, the main office is there. So you're having a tie-up with all the state governments. So who are the stakeholders particularly? Is it the government or is it somebody else who's involved in this?
So, NCVT is there at the central level. We do not have regional counterparts of NCVT, and NCVT is not a statutory body. So it is by a government notification. So we have to encourage all those stakeholders who are into the skilling ecosystem to become a part of NCVT framework, that is the government national framework, so that whatever standards we come out with, they are adopted by them for improving skilling. So it is more a contractual agreement with them that we enter into. So the stakeholders currently are the state governments, the state bodies, autonomous bodies under the state, similarly central departments, central autonomous bodies, it could be universities, even state school education boards, even institutes of national importance, and now even industry, multinational companies are coming forward. So actually skilling is being undertaken all across the board. So it is not only government bodies, also private bodies. So as many of them can come into the fold of national framework, which means that they are able to adopt whatever minimum standards that are prescribed, then definitely their skilling will improve.
What do you think, ma'am? We have education on one side and the industry on the other side. There is always a demand and supply, gap. Like what is being wanted in the industry, maybe the education is not giving. Somewhere there is a missing. So how to fulfill that gap?
So I think in fact we took that as a problem and we started working on that problem as to how do you ensure that we actually have graduating students ready for the industry. Typically, if you look at most of the industries, when students graduate, they undergo a training program. Now that skilling, can that be part of the graduating program itself? So there was, from that thought, we started working on something called National Credit Framework also. And what we have done, and this is also part of NEP 2020, that we said that skilling needs to be embedded in education. Starting early from school itself, we are trying to give exposure of skilling to the school students. That's one. To tell them what is the kind of career path they want to choose. It helps them actually to choose a career path. And also maybe in case they want to drop out after school, they can actually choose that as a way they want to be working. The second is, even after graduation, can we ensure more employability of the graduates? Even if it's an engineering college, typically they also have to go through a training period before they're really fully usable in the industry. So can that industry, fourth year of college curriculum, etc. So with that in mind, we actually created courses which were totally industry ready. And like Vinita mentioned, that we also have some industry courses which we also started embedding in the education, which actually makes them absolutely usable, at the end of their course. So typically, in fact, in a BTech course, for example, there is a 1 semester of project work. Even can that project work be also of the type which is required by industry, rather than just a theoretical project, was also a thought. So with these thoughts, we also came up with how do we make skilling as aspirational. So we started working on different areas of skilling. It could be, earlier we used to have standard skilling programs, but then how do we make even carpentry more safe? Or can a carpenter come up with more designs using technology? Or can we embed different kind of technology in, different kind of workflow also? So all that also has been done.
How would you identify the demand of the industry? How is it being, pushed into skill?
So you see, one, industry has to come forward because they are the users of the skilled man. Even till today, we don't have any such mechanism where industry is directly responding or telling you, except that there are some skill gap surveys which each sector may be undertaking, or sometimes NSDC had done some skill gap surveys. So, but those also get outdated very fast. You complete a survey and again in a year is so dynamic that it changes.
Within the survey is completed.
So what we do is that when awarding bodies who actually undertake trainings, they have to bring courses for training, qualifications which we call them. So we have made it mandatory that they first have to actually develop them in consultation with industry, so that they are demand driven, and they have to get their courses validated by at least, like for instance, we've laid down that if you bring any course for approval, then at least 30 industries should have validated that course, that yes,
so
this is
you
required.
have laid a regulation.
Yeah.
There.
So it is, one, the course is required. Secondly, in the current format that you have developed the curriculum.
Okay.
And when they bring it to us in NCVT, again we go through the entire thing. Then we also have another stakeholder consultation where we call the industry, we call the academics, everybody we call, and all stakeholders are invited. And again there is a discussion to see whether there is need, what changes need to be brought into the curriculum, and then we go through and approve the course. And then that also gets revised every 3 years, after 3 years mandatorily, and if there is a technology change, then whatever changes are required, they have to be made.
Okay, what is this National Credit Framework, ma'am, we have talked?
So National Credit Framework has a very simple, in one sentence if I explain, it says every learning needs to be creditized. The learning could be as part of a course, it could be part of something I've learned on the job, or it could be a hackathon, or it could be some social work that I've done, or maybe I've taken part in Olympiad, or I've taken actually part in some Olympics and won a medal for the country. So any learning that I do, any trainings that I do has to be creditized. Is what is the simple one-line language for National Credit Framework. But in details, what it also works on is it has a concept of how can you have enable multiple entry, multiple exit. It allows student, and we've seen actually that a lot of students join a course and then they decide that they want to pursue something else. That could be one, or they are not able to pursue because of some financial problem or otherwise. So they could actually come back after a particular period and rejoin the course. It also has cases where we are able to help people who are academically very bright. So it actually works on a concept that you can actually get credits based on assessment, and student is very bright and able to close the course faster than the normal kids. The child will also be able to get benefit.
Okay, so after getting a recognized certificate of skill, undergoing skill development training and all, can the person seek a job outside the country or inside the country? How do they go about it?
So currently, whenever you complete a course, you get not only credit but also the certificate for it. Now that certificate is recognized, at least in India. We're also working parallelly on international recognition of those courses, and we are also working on international equivalence of those courses. Like BTech, for example, has an international equivalence across a lot of countries. MBBS in some cases has, in some cases it does not have. We're also working on specific courses which are internationally recognized so that our students, when they do these certification in India, are recognized globally. So that's something which the process is on, and we're working with different countries separately, and we've signed MOUs and we're trying to work on that area.
So MOUs are a part of bringing our talents to the international platform.
Yeah, so any international body for them, we have to work on mutual recognition of qualifications. So that is a task which you have to undertake with each country separately, and also then we have to look at what is the demand in that country, what kind of trained people are required in that country, so that we pick up those qualifications first for international alignment, and therefore this mutual recognition happens. That is how the process happens.
Yeah, for example, this driving and then construction.
Exactly.
Those are much demanded jobs.
And now caregivers is another,
yes.
Which is in huge demand because of aging population in the West. Like with Japan, we have a program where they are wanting caregivers, and they are being trained and being given training even in Japanese language so that they can go and work there.
So you undertake the medical part of it and also the language part of it.
Yes.
In fact, culture part of it also.
Culture
So
part.
now what we've
Yeah.
started additionally is to teach our people who are going abroad something on the culture of that country also, because language is one part, and the course, actually the details are specific details are one part, but also the culture, because it's very important that the person who goes there settles down and knows how to behave with people who are there. So we're trying to see that if a little bit of culture of the country is also part of the course that is taught to them.
So if a person, like for example, if a child wants to learn some skills apart from schools or colleges, how do they get into contact with these type of courses?
So we have a platform called SID, Skill India Digital Portal, which actually has a complete repository of who's offering what courses. Details of the courses are also available in our National Qualification Register, but then they actually have details of which course is offered at what location. So that repository is available on SID, and from there the child can actually go. What we were very happy to see today was that some of our awarding bodies today, we saw that they also have a course where, in fact, Kerala, I think they came up with one way to find out the aptitude of a child. So they had a program where they were trying to look at the aptitude of the child, and based on the aptitude of the child, they could assign a particular program, a skilling program to the child, so that actually the child is successful in that course. So we're trying to build that kind of concept also. But the course and who's doing and where is it happening, the details are available on SID.
You were listening to first part of special discussion with Executive Committee members of National Council for Vocational Education and Training, Dr. Vinitha Agarwal and Dr. Neena Pahuja, and our special correspondent S. Joy.